What science is uncovering in the Bermuda Triangle. Over 1,000 ships have vanished without a trace. Hundreds of aircraft have disappeared mid-flight, leaving no wreckage, no distress signals, and no survivors. Compasses spin wildly, electronics malfunction, and the ocean swallows vessels whole. This is the Bermuda Triangle, a region so deadly that pilots refuse to fly over it. A stretch of ocean where insurance companies allegedly charge higher premiums. A zone where the laws of physics bend and something natural or supernatural claims lives with terrifying regularity. Except none of that is true. See, the Bermuda Triangle does not even appear on any official map. Maritime organizations do not recognize it as a designated hazard zone, and the U.S. Coast Guard does not issue special warnings for it. Statistically, though, it is 90 times safer than the global average for oceanic travel. Science has been studying the Bermuda Triangle for decades, and what it has uncovered is not a paranormal zone of vanishings, but something far more fascinating: the anatomy of a myth. How a combination of real weather, tragic coincidences, and cultural amplification created a legend that refuses to die even in the face of overwhelming evidence to the contrary. This is what science is uncovering in the Bermuda Triangle, and the truth is stranger than the fiction we've been told. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed through what would later be called the Bermuda Triangle. His logs describe strange phenomena: compasses behaving erratically, mysterious lights on the horizon, rough seas appearing from nowhere. These observations were unremarkable for the time. Columbus was navigating uncharted waters with primitive instruments, so compass variations were common. Bioluminescent plankton created strange lights, and sudden squalls were typical of tropical waters. But in retrospect, these notes became evidence of something unnatural. In 1609, the Sea Venture wrecked near Bermuda during a hurricane. The incident inspired Shakespeare's The Tempest. Bermuda then became known as the Isle of Devils, and sailors spread stories of the region being cursed, haunted, unnavigable. These were shipwrecks in a hurricane-prone region and literary fiction. But the narrative was set. This place was different, and it defied explanation. The myth of the Bermuda Triangle is built on a handful of high-profile incidents, each dramatic, each tragic, and each far more mundane than the legend suggests. For instance, in 1881, the schooner Ellen Austin encountered a derelict ship. A salvage team was sent aboard, and days later the ship was found again. Abandoned, the crew vanished. It is one of the most chilling tales of the Bermuda Triangle, but it is also almost certainly fiction, as there is no mention of it in official logs, no newspaper reports, and no insurance claims. The story appeared in print decades later, simply embellished until it became indistinguishable from fact. However, the story of the USS Cyclops in 1918 was real. The USS Cyclops was a Navy cargo ship carrying 306 crew members and 10,000 tons of manganese ore, which disappeared without sending a distress signal. No wreckage was ever found, and it remains the largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. Navy history. The disappearance remains a genuine mystery, but not a supernatural one. Evidence so far reveals the Cyclops was overloaded, structurally compromised, and traveling through waters known for sudden, violent storms. The ship's commander was also erratic and reportedly unstable, so a catastrophic structural failure, perhaps a keel breaking under the weight of improperly secured cargo, would have caused the ship to sink in minutes, too fast to send an SOS. Tragic? Yes. Unexplainable? No. Then there's the case of Flight 19, where in 1945, 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers disappeared during a training flight off the coast of Florida. The lead pilot, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, radioed that his compasses were malfunctioning and he was lost. The squadron ran out of fuel and ditched into the ocean, and a rescue plane sent to find them also vanished. This incident became the cornerstone of Bermuda Triangle lore. 14 men lost, 6 aircraft gone, no survivors, no wreckage. The official Navy report concluded, pilot error. For decades, these incidents were isolated tragedies. Then in 1964, Vincent Gaddis published an article officially naming the region the Bermuda Triangle. The timing was perfect. The 1960s and 1970s were the golden age of conspiracy theories. The Cold War-fueled paranoia, UFO sightings peaked, and the world was obsessed with the unexplained. In 1974, Charles Berlitz published The Bermuda Triangle, selling over 20 million copies, presenting every disappearance as evidence of something beyond human understanding: Atlantis, alien abductions, space-time portals. The lack of distress signals became proof of instantaneous annihilation. The absence of wreckage became evidence of dimensional rifts, and every missing vessel was reframed as a mystery demanding supernatural explanation. The myth became cultural canon. Movies, documentaries, and TV specials reinforced it. The Bermuda Triangle was no longer a geographic area, it was an idea. While the myth spread, scientists were still studying the region, and what they found was not paranormal, it was entirely, almost disappointingly, normal. For instance, one of the most persistent claims is that compasses behave erratically in the Bermuda Triangle, pointing toward true north instead of magnetic north, causing navigation errors. This is partially true, but not unique to the Bermuda Triangle. There are locations on Earth where magnetic north and true north align, called agonic lines. One such line used to pass through the Bermuda Triangle, but it has since shifted westward due to the Earth's changing magnetic field. Modern navigation systems also account for magnetic variation automatically. Then again, scientists discovered that the Bermuda Triangle sits in one of the most volatile weather regions on Earth. It is a practical breeding ground for tropical cyclones and hurricanes. The Gulf Stream, one of the strongest ocean currents on the planet, flows through the area at speeds exceeding 5 miles per hour, capable of carrying debris hundreds of miles from the site of an incident and making wreckage recovery nearly impossible. The region also experiences rogue waves, spontaneous towering waves that can exceed 30 meters in height, capable of capsizing even large ships. These are not supernatural phenomena, they are well-documented meteorological and oceanographic events. In the 1980s, scientists proposed that underwater methane eruptions could cause ships to sink rapidly by reducing water density. Basically, bubbles rising from the seafloor could theoretically destabilize a vessel, causing it to lose buoyancy and plunge. This phenomenon has been observed in other parts of the world, particularly off the coast of Norway, meaning it is geologically plausible. But there is no evidence of significant methane seeps in the Bermuda Triangle, so the theory is scientifically sound but geographically misplaced. In 2013, the Worldwide Fund for Nature analyzed maritime incident data from 1982 to 2015. Over 150,000 incidents were recorded globally. Only 4% occurred in the Bermuda Triangle region. None were classified as unexplained, and the statistical risk of incident in the Bermuda Triangle was significantly below the global average. Then in 2016, a comprehensive analysis of aviation incidents found that the vast majority of plane crashes occurred during takeoff or landing, not mid-flight. Very few incidents occur over the open ocean, and those that do are almost always attributable to mechanical failure, weather, or human error. Thus, the conclusion was unambiguous. The Bermuda Triangle is approximately 90 times safer than the global average for air and sea travel. It is one of the most heavily trafficked regions on Earth. Thousands of flights pass through it daily and hundreds of ships cross it weekly. So if it were truly a zone of unexplained disappearances, the data would reflect it. It does not. So the Bermuda Triangle is not a paranormal anomaly. It is a weather volatile, heavily trafficked section of ocean where incidents occur at statistically normal rates. So why does the myth persist? Simple. Because it is narratively irresistible. Humans are pattern-seeking creatures. We see coincidences and construct causation. The idea that ships and planes vanish due to bad weather and human error is unsatisfying. The idea that they vanish because of something beyond our understanding is captivating. The myth simply thrives on confirmation bias. Every incident in the region is remembered, while every safe passage is forgotten. Also, culturally, the myth is embedded. Generations have grown up hearing about it, so correcting it requires not just presenting data, but dismantling decades of cultural reinforcement. The Bermuda Triangle is a difficult weather zone and a busy hub of maritime and air traffic. Incidents are real, but not exceptional. The real mystery is not what happens in the Bermuda Triangle. It is why we need it to be mysterious. Science has uncovered nothing supernatural in these waters. No portals, no alien abductions. Just weather, currents, human error, and the occasional tragedy that occurs in any heavily traveled region. But the myth endures because we are wired to seek mystery, to believe that some places defy explanation. The Bermuda Triangle is not one of those places. It never was. But the story we tell about it reveals something deeper, that sometimes the myths we construct are more powerful than the truths we uncover. If you want to explore more phenomena where science reveals the gap between legend and reality, subscribe and join us as we separate the stories we believe from the evidence that challenges them.